Hello and welcome to another lore dive video. This time we are going into the lore behind leveling up, which there's a surprising amount of information about. Let's start with the fun part, leveling up your resonators. The XP tubes are reportedly bland in taste and are ingested orally. However, the purple rarity is quite often used amongst resonators as it provides a more active boost and even has nutritional benefits. The legendary variety is said to have effects on the body and mind that actively improve your physical and mental condition. This would imply that your frequencies become more stable and your connection to your forte becomes more stable as well. Almost like leveling up is becoming one with your forte. This makes sense as fortes can be heavily influenced by the subconscious mind. Also, the legendary potion is said to have been invented by a powerful Resonator who hopes to create a successor capable of surpassing their own achievements. Rover might have been the one who has created these potions, though this is exceptionally unlikely as Rover seems intent on fighting and doing things himself or with the Shorekeeper. Additionally, mystery codes have a connection with the Rover. The upgrade materials used for his ascension are considered ancient, which makes sense considering he was likely a pre-lament entity. As for other upgrade materials such as the cores we farm from bosses, only the ones obtained from the Fallacy of No Return, Lorelei, and the Sentry construct have anything meaningful. The topological confinement is a set of data that has an ever-changing topology that creates an infinite representation of reality. It is a prison where unknown variations, including the most human emotions known as love and hope, are forever trapped. The Platinum Core from Sentry Construct gives off the impression it is entirely mechanical, or that it might have an echo locked and trapped inside of it, of which this is most likely the case as well the Sentry Construct itself is a summonable echo. Additionally, Lorelei drops the Cleansing Conch, which is an active item that holds whispers from Lorelei with a theory saying that it contains a Sonaro, that it contains nothing more than the echoes of your true self. This theory is backed by the fact we can literally see a Sonaro sphere inside of it. In fact, it looks similar to something the Shorekeeper uses in her idle animations. Essentially, resonators are acting in a similar way that tacit discords do. We consume the frequencies of things that resonate similarly with us to strengthen our own frequencies. The only difference is that a tacit discord is said to die without consuming frequencies. However, everything in the world of Solaris is made up of frequencies. In truth, the only real difference is the level of stability. Havoc warriors are unstable and will fade in time, just as Chisha will die unless she eats food. But the most stable creatures are those like the Rover and the Shorekeeper, as well as these Sentinels. They are effectively immortal because of how stable their frequencies are. Continuing on, we have some less interesting information with the green tier upgrade materials. Essentially, these boil down to static or weak frequencies, with the cores being cores of weak tacit discords, although the rings are rather interesting in that they hold information about an individual and have a cultural mark of rejecting standard society. The Mask of Constraint dropped by the Fraxidus are also interesting as they seem to suppress standard human emotions and suppress the body's natural rejection of being integrated with frequencies and parts of tacit discords, further bridging the theory that tacit discords and humans are rather similar. Again, with the blue tier, it's not that informative aside from the mask, which is said to be drowning in negative emotions, as well as the rings, which give us details that they can be used as communication devices, they can scan and find location services easily. The purple tier, of course, is far more interesting as we discover people actually collected the refined phlogiston as a collector's item, but also that the Mask of Distortion gives us the impression that every member of the Fraxidus is constantly in a state of suffering, and that at this stage you are beyond the road of overclocking and cannot hope to return to normal. We also get information about the improved ring, which holds insane amounts of data about the wilderness and survival information in general, even greater than the Academy. This to me helps explain how Dan Jin is so effective in hunting down exiles and essentially is performing a cleansing on them due to the information she has of them. In the gold tier, we get a lot of information. We discovered that the waveworm residue is indispensable in high-tech fields and is subject to insane trade restrictions. We also learned that the flawless phlogiston is often used to create accessories instead of used for enhancement or upgrading, but the good stuff comes from the mask and the ring. Those who have the mask of insanity have an unimaginably poor mental state, as well as being so distorted they generate frequencies similar to a tacit discord. The ring, of course, is uniquely made and has insane encryption on it for protecting the information. That's just leveling up the resonators, though. We have a lot more information to cover here, including weapons and echoes, so let's get into the weapons. Weapons essentially treat their upgrade materials as food. Tacitite weapons essentially need to recharge their usages, and according to the blue core, they are often used for maintenance purposes. Also, apparently the best way to maximize its effectiveness is to preheat and pre-assemble the energy cores to prevent malfunctions in battle. Again, the cores are used for these, but they're essentially speaking about the strength of the Tacit Discord, though this does beg to question if Tacit Discords are weapons, and brings forth thoughts of Overthrax, with the Dreamless calling Overthrax its mother. Are we using the souls of our enemies to strengthen our weapons to kill them? Onto the echoes. The upgrade tubes here are similar to Ben 10's Omnitrix in that they hold simulation data and they sort of evolve your echo forcibly. We can kill an echo, enslave its frequencies, and then forcibly evolve it to continue fighting for us. Though enslaving the echo isn't entirely accurate, it is dead, but it is still its memories to an extent, or more like the memories of the world that it has of it. The tuners are, well, exactly what you think. They remove noise from the echo frequencies, much like a noise filter in recording audio for a video. With this in mind, I'll go ahead and clear something up about echoes. They are frequencies like everything else, but think of them closer to like pets. You are definitely capturing an echo, a shadow of its former self, but as a result, it has less will of its own and is more tame in comparison. As for the lore behind sequence nodes, well, I might make a video on that in the future. I don't have any currently, and from what I can tell in shop, they don't appear to have lore significance beyond the lore of the character, at least in the way that they're named. I suppose you can link them to a resonator leveling up and becoming more in tune with their frequencies, more stable. However, this is about the extent of the lore behind leveling up and weathering waves, at least without getting into all the unnecessary details, such as where flowers grow or how useful a fungus is in the ecosystem. However, if you are all interested in a lore video on the flora of Solaris-III, then let me know, and I might make a video on it in the future. With all of this out of the way, we can now see all the information clearly and form a sound conclusion. We literally consume the upgrade materials we obtain in order to stabilize and bond further with our fortes. Tacit discords consume people to stabilize their own frequencies and even take on parts of their personalities. Remember the Tacit Discord in Chi-Chi Village? Almost in a similar fashion to how we eat cows to sustain ourselves. Remember, everything in Solaris-III are frequencies. Additionally, now this is a theory here, but it's not a far-fetched one to say that resonators are becoming more like what they resonate with. And what about Rover? What does Rover resonate with? Aside from the Shorekeeper resonating with Rover's heart and Rover resonating with her frequencies, it seems unlikely that she's the sole cause for his unique abilities. Could he resonate with Abby? Or could it be the goddess we've seen at the start of the game? Let me know your thoughts down below, and in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time.